Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unspoketopics. I'm your host, Shakeem. Today we have a very special guest with me. We're going to talk about a few things and get into some few things. Most of you guys may know her as my big sis. Most of you guys may know her as a wife, a mom. So, with no later ado, let's welcome Ikepo Babajide. Woo! Hi, Keps. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm so excited to be on your podcast.
Oh, thanks.
I'm so excited. I feel so blessed to have you in my life. And I feel so blessed to kind of just see this start and where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that before we move on. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Extremely proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
And yeah, thank you. Thank you so
welcome.
much. I'm grateful.
All right. So for the people who don't know you, right?
Okay.
Because I know you.
I know.
What fun thing would you say? Like a fun fact about you?
Fun fact. Fun. I would say a fun fact about me is that I'm just popping.
Okay,
Let me stop.
I know that's right.
No, fun fact.
Totally, it's true.
Yeah, I'm just a cool girl.
Yeah.
I'm just a cool girl. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 4.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I do have a sister who is 10, so that could be a fun fact.
Oh, there you go. That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people have... Yeah, that's a fun fact.
Yeah.
I like that.
So the gap is pretty wide. People like to call her my firstborn because literally I could have had her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I never looked at it like that, though.
Yeah. So,
I like that.
So I guess we could say that as a fun fact.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, so before we get into, the good old nitty gritty and everything, I have a segment on here that is called Unspoken Advice. So on this segment, I will just be asking you a few questions that, people have been sending in. And I want you to just, I just want you to answer them to the best of your ability that you can.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No pressure. I'm ready. I'm ready.
So my first question is, have you ever learned anything from a kid, and what is it?
Absolutely. I have 2 kids, so I'm learning stuff every single day. Believe it or not, kids are the best teachers in so many different things. Even practicing like self-control, like my kids teach me that every day. Sometimes I want to buck up on them,
but you gotta relax.
I can't. But I think one lesson I've learned from, I don't even remember which kid this was, but I remember, I want to say it's my daughter, because she got a sharp mouth. But, so I remember telling them to do something. I think it was like clean up something, clean up their clothes, something like that, clean up their room. And she looked at me, she was like, yeah, it was definitely my daughter. She was like, well, your clothes are not cleaned up.
Oh, wow.
Your room is not cleaned up. And I was like shocked, literally like flabbergasted, like
because you weren't expecting that. You're
like my mouth was like quivering, like whoa. But the truth of the matter is, she has a point. Like, you're telling us to clean up,
but you don't.
But
we could have done that back in our day, though. Like when we were younger.
I could never try that with my parents.
Right, be like, so your room is not
clean.
What is going on with
I ain't crazy.
Right.
But I was. Yeah, I mean, when she said it, I was like, you're absolutely right. Like, you are the example.
Right.
Like,
and
whether you have kids or not, like, the thing is, when you say something, you want to be able to back it up and show that what you're saying, you also do. And that's really with anything, whether it's work, whether it's if you have like mentees, let's say you're a mentor, whatever the case may be, like, put your money where your mouth is,
That is
kind
true.
of. So I think that was definitely a lesson that I learned from her. And like I said, I learn things every day from them because they say it like it is.
No sugarcoat it.
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat it. And I kind of wish a lot of adults were like that, to be honest with you.
Oh, that is so true. All right, so the second question I have is, what has inspired you lately?
Good question. Lately, I would say seeing other people reach goals that I also have for myself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cause I can say that too. Cause keptalk, you know, if you guys don't know, she has
That's my baby.
whole
I'll share more about it at the end.
At the end. But when I was watching your recent episode, before the ending of 2022, we had that little. Yes. I learned a lot. Like it inspires me to get up and keep going. And outside of that, when I'm going through certain things, like you always have a word inside of your keptalk. Like there's always a word. Like I shared one with you when patience, when I was supposed to have patience, and then I had the lady from the bank said the same thing. So there's always a word. So I would say like others inspired you a lot.
Yes,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, well, I guess that's all I have for questions. We can.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was too bad. It was a little warm up. Next time, make sure I have like 60 for you.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm ready.
Got you. All right. So the topic for today is drum roll, please. Is a culture that's afraid of seeking therapy.
Ooh.
Yes. So that's gonna be our topic for today. And the reason why I chose the topic is I remember a long time ago, I forgot what class I was taking, and basically the percentage of African American versus like other counterparts that we have is very low, like when it comes to seeking therapy, which then leads to where you go through the culture and like people say, especially male, like African American male, like it's not right for you to seek therapy. Like it's frowned upon.
It's like a taboo.
Yes, like you're not manly enough if you go seek therapy, which to me don't make any sense because that's when it leads to people cheating in a relationship and committing suicide and doing all of the other stuff that you can't because you don't have an outlet to speak. So if you don't have an outlet, all that is built up and then you commit such acts. So that's it.
That is a topic that I feel could be spoken about for days. Like there's not enough time.
Right.
And I do appreciate you even bringing that topic, letting that be the topic that you bring to me because I am in school to become a therapist.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. And you said something just now that you were in school and a lot of like African Americans don't seek therapy, right? Like we don't seek it as much as our Caucasian counterparts. Let me add something in there as well. There's not a lot of black therapists.
There isn't.
As well.
There is. And you're right about that. There isn't. There's like a hand-selected few of them.
Right. Very, very hand-selected. So not only are we not seeking therapy, most times we don't even have the option of even seeing a black therapist. Now, of course, now, I've heard, I've seen, again, I'm in school to become a therapist. There's more of us. There's also like a lot of different platforms where it's specifically for black therapists. So that's great. I mean, I think we're heading in the right direction. There's always room for improvement, but we are heading in the right direction. So why do I think people don't seek therapy or why people are afraid to seek therapy?
Oh wait, you don't even have to answer that. So all right, so we can jump into the questions.
Okay,
all right.
Yes,
so
the
first question is, why do you think people in general are afraid to go to therapy?
Okay. All right. So from what I've seen, heard, experienced, there's many reasons, and I'll get into it. I think one reason people are afraid to go to therapy, number one, is judgment. Point blank, period.
That is true.
They do not want to be judged. No one wants to be judged.
That's true.
I don't want to be judged. So,
why would I go?
Why would I go somewhere where there's a possibility
that I'm being judged,
that I could be judged? I think that's one. I also think that people don't really like change. Right? Because the point of going to therapy is to change.
That is true.
Right? And so...
and better your life.
Exactly. Again, people go to therapy for many different reasons. But ultimately, change is the reason that I could probably say is for everybody. Like,
true.
We all want to change. So I think people are afraid of change, and change could be scary. Don't get me wrong. Recently, I posted a video on my platform where I was just giving advice to younger people, and I said, embrace change. Like, change is a good thing. Sometimes we're so caught up in like, this is how I've done it, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, no, like, we evolve,
right? And sometimes what you're doing is not working, but you still want the same results. Like doing old things, expecting it to like get the same result. It's not gonna work.
That's called insanity, right? Isn't there like a saying like that? Like, you're doing, But anyway, so I also think, people don't even know that they have a mental illness.
And that's a real thing. Literally, it's a real, like, they won't know. And that's why, again, therapy is really, like, important. Because you won't know that you have it until someone pointed out to you.
Right.
And, like, most people are like, oh, well, I don't need to go to a therapist because I have my friends to talk to. No.
Yeah, like, advice is different than therapy.
Right, because your friends can be biased on a situation. Say that, okay, you're beefing with someone online. And, you go to your friend and be like, oh, I'm beefing with this person. Like, they're going to, like, back you up. Like, oh, yeah, go argue with them. Versus, you go to a professional, and they're going to say, I don't think... Yeah. Like, let's step back. Right. Let's unpack. Let's see why you want to fight this person.
Absolutely.
Versus,
absolutely. I mean, like I said, I'm in school to become a therapist. You don't just wake up and say, I'm a therapist today. Right. There's education, right? That goes into it. You have to learn a lot. Like, thank Jesus, I'm done in May. Amen. But it was not an easy journey. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't easy. So I think people don't even, people don't even know that they're experiencing trauma or they're experiencing whatever the case may be. And I think there's fear in that as well, because it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to come out in therapy. Right. I don't know what's going to happen. Also, I think some people don't think therapy will actually work.
I've met a few people are like that. Yeah. That they're like, there's no point.
They doubt it. It's like, what?
It's a waste of time.
Waste of time, waste of money.
Yeah.
So they're like, most people are not even in therapy long enough to even see it to work. It's not like because I see clients right now, and to be very honest with you, I don't really start seeing change
until like week 6, 7.
That's early even. No, like, that's early. I'm saying like month 5, month 4.
Because it takes time.
Because first of all, in the beginning, you got to build a therapeutic relationship. You got to build that trust.
True, yeah.
So before you can even go into like the nitty gritty, trust has to be built. And trust is not going to be built in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Most times
takes time.
Even when we have friends, how long does it take for us to build trust before we can call somebody a friend?
Exactly. It's true. Because you're not going to go to a random person and be like, hey, let me tell you my life story.
Yes, exactly. So, and again, every circumstance is different. I don't want to, I know right now I'm being very like general. I know every circumstance is different. But yeah, I just think those are some of the few things that people are afraid of. So that's my short but long answer.
All right. Well, question number 2 for you is, in your opinion, why do people of color are afraid to seek therapy? I can go first while you think about your answer.
Oh, okay. Sure. Let me know what you think.
So, I again, as we said in the beginning, before we start the questions, we were unpacking before we even started. Mm-hmm. I think, again, as you said, it's a judgmental thing. Like, they're scared of being judged. And also, like, how they're raised. Especially, like, I can speak from a male point of view. Because growing up, you were taught, don't cry. Don't show emotions. Like, you're not supposed to
Man
do
up.
it. Right. Mm-hmm. And I remember a long time ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, her boyfriend was going through, like, I guess a rough patch, but he was so scared that's how deep our culture is, like, in us. He was so scared to tell her what he was going through because he think that will make him less of a man to share his feelings with her. So I feel like it's just like a feeling thing, or they're just scared that they might be
That's
judged.
unfortunate. I feel so, like, my heart honestly breaks for African American men, because I feel like this is something that I've heard time and time again. I can't speak for the white man, but I really can't speak for men, but again,
right.
My husband is black. My brother is black. My guy, so I'm speaking from our culture. Oh, and African American man that is in the church. Oh, God. Don't get me started. Or, African man.
Oh, child.
But anyway, yeah.
That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother day. Yeah, I mean, we'll just put everything into one bucket because we can literally slice and dice it in many different ways.
Right. That is true.
But I think there's a lack of understanding. I think people don't even understand what therapy is. I've
heard that before too.
Yeah. I think there's not a lot of education around therapy. And I personally think the education needs to start at homes, in homes, in schools, in churches.
I agree.
I think that it has to start from there.
Yeah.
It has to start from a young age. There is nothing wrong with seeking help for things that are outside of your control. Even the things that are even in your control.
Yeah.
I know someone that literally has a therapist. This person goes monthly. And it's not because anything. So she was going weekly because she was dealing with some things that she had to, to overcome.
Right.
But then after, she was like, all right, I'm not going to go monthly. Kind of like a maintenance.
Right. Oh, that's
like a maintenance.
Way to look at it.
Like,
yeah.
My husband and I always joke. We say all of us got mental issues. All of us are.
We are. Literally. There's no two way about it. It's really true.
All of us got some level, some degree of
cuckoo.
But like seriously, and then again, there's times where you might be depressed. You got to be able to talk to somebody. Yeah. Like, nobody is above being sad.
Yeah.
Nobody is above losing friends. Like, people go to therapy even when they lose a friend because it's traumatic.
It is, because it's just like you invested so much.
Exactly.
And your investment need to, sort itself out.
Exactly. So yeah, I think well, there I go, just going off on Kepsi style, just going on. But back to the question of why African Americans are afraid. I just think it's a lack of understanding, number one. I also think that a lot of African Americans want to speak to people that are also African American.
That is true.
And again, I'm not trying to say they can't get what they need from people that are not Black. But no, listen.
I mean, you can't. So here's what I have. I had a story about that. So when I first registered to sign up to see a therapist, right? It was before Better Health is what Better Health is right now. This is not a sponsorship, so sorry. I mean, unless you guys want to sponsor me, by all means. Anyway, but while I was going through the therapy list, there was like no people of color. Like literally, it was just white. And I was like, to me, when I was doing that, I was like, okay, I can't connect with you. Like I felt like I couldn't connect with them because I was like, okay, if I choose you, my struggles you're not going to understand. My pain you're not going to understand. I can't, like, jokes that I can run with someone of color, I don't think I can run that with you. And then on top of that, again, where it comes back to that fear of being judged, I was like, I don't want you to judge me because you don't know me or know my culture, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, I feel so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think also, Black people, we've just, of course, historically, we've gone through so much.
A lot.
And, we're still going through so much. And we want to protect ourselves. We want to protect our values. We want to protect our hearts, our minds. So we're not ready to just open ourselves all anyhow with just any old body, because we just have this wall up sometimes. And I get it. Like, I really get it. Even just being Black in America and just seeing all that is going on in 2000 and, we're in 2023. It's like, what? Like, how? So I think God just has to really work on our race, I guess you would say, and just kind of just help us in just learning to trust more. That's what I think. And I also think I want to think about this before I say it. For those that are raised in the church,
I know where you're going with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. We shouldn't just...
God is great.
He is
God
great.
God is good. God can do
wonders.
All things. Like, there's nothing that is impossible for God. Nothing. But...
remember, he created everything. So he
created therapy.
Yeah. So
he created therapists. Yeah. He inspired me to become a therapist.
Yeah. So don't say, you don't need to see one. Pray God.
Yeah. And again, sometimes, again, me, I love Jesus. But there's some things that you need to go see somebody. And maybe you could see someone that is a Christian therapist.
I'm a Christian therapist.
I'm a Christian therapist. Before I even went to get my, to do this degree, I got a cert as a Christian counselor. It was like a certificate. But I was like, wait, no, I want to know. I want the credentials. Right. Like, give me the credentials because I want to be able to take, the Bible and Christianity, but I also want to work with the theories, right? The theories, the science, so
the breakdown.
So that's what I would say. I think, like, again, it's the same things. Fear of judgment when it comes to Black people. Fear of judgment, pride. Ooh,
that's a good one too. Pride. Ooh,
yes. Fear of changing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
All right, I like these answers. All right. Yeah. So my third question is for you is, how do we break the cycle regarding negative stigma around surrounding people seeking therapy?
We need more Black therapists. That's part of it.
Yeah.
We need more people to get into this field. And I think that would build a lot of trust.
True.
With other African Americans.
That's true. One of them.
Like, I can give you such a good example. Like, even my son. Not even my son. Even me. Like, when you see another black person, don't you feel a little more comfortable?
Yeah,
like,
just brings that like, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, well, if they could do it, you know? So, and my son's like that all the time. Like, he'll come home, maybe he wants to do something or go somewhere, and he's excited. Like, I saw another brown person.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's...
Yeah, so I think that's part of it. Again, I think, you know, education, educating, you know, people as early as elementary school. I have clients that are in elementary school, so it's therapy has no age. There's no age to this thing.
It's not.
You know, so yeah, definitely education and more African Americans stepping into the role, I think.
Oh, I have a question for you regarding that. Now, why do you think there's not enough African Americans as therapists? Like, what is the gap? What do you think the gap is? Because
that's a good question.
Because you said that like a lot. We need more, but like how would we go about like
actually doing?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, I can only speak from my experience. I remember when I even told some people that I wanted to be a therapist, they didn't think it was a real
job
profession.
Why not?
Yeah, no, it was like...
Besides, all jokes aside, y'all make bank.
I mean...
Well, y'all make...
I mean, yeah.
So, for that, it's not...
They just kind of felt like, you're gonna go talk to people about their issues, like...
But it's more than that, though.
And people, definitely more than that.
And people see that as, like, you're just going there to, like, find their business. No, but they're, like, helping someone. Like, you're changing someone's life so they can, like, be the better version of them. Yeah. Because, as you know, I worked at a therapy office, and I've seen, like, a lot of, like, people come in and, like, how they, as you said, how they come in, 99.9% of the time, if you put the work in and really do what your therapist says, you leave a different person. Yeah. Like, I remember there was this married couple. They were very old. As you said, when you said age don't have a limit, I laugh at that because they were really old. And they were still seeking therapists, like a marriage counselor, so they can like better their relationship.
Their union.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the fourth question I have for you, well, it's fifth because I just actually. What was your experience seeing a therapist for the first time, if you have?
I have. I actually have a therapist.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while, but I have a therapist. So it was definitely interesting. When I first started my program, they actually recommended go find a therapist. Like, they were like, you say you want to do this for people, you need to be in therapy. You need to experience it.
As a therapist, you need a therapist. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I believe that we probably need therapy a little more, right? Because we are being unloaded on.
Yeah.
And so...
That just touched my heart when you said that.
Yeah. We're being unloaded on. And so we also need an avenue to express ourselves. Because we're therapists, but we're also going through our day-to-day lives. Dealing with different things, going through different things, whether it's with your spouse, your children, your loved ones, depression, anxiety. Like, being a therapist doesn't... it's not like I'm a therapist, so I'm not going through anything. I'm not depressed, or I'm not anxious, or I don't have trauma. No, it's very much still present, right? So I definitely needed to see a therapist, especially in the during the pandemic.
Oh yes,
and I'm sure a lot of people can relate with that.
Yes.
So I mean, my experience was a positive one. It was weird in the beginning, like I can understand how my clients feel, right? So I get it, so it's an experience though that I'm grateful for, and it just kind of puts what I'm doing like into perspective. Like, I just see things from a different angle. Right. Like I said, I haven't seen my therapist in some time. I do need to hit him up. Remember me? But yeah, I think therapy is a beautiful journey if, like you said, if you take it seriously, if you do the work, if you are open-minded, if you're transparent, if you're vulnerable, I think that you will always come out with positive results.
True.
I can say that. I mean, and if the person you're speaking to is someone that is that works for you, honestly. Like, I could see somebody today and I'm like, oh, heck no, this is not who I want to see. And that's okay. Because every
like
counselor,
shopping.
every counselor has different styles, right? So I always tell my clients, like, listen, if my style doesn't work for you, I am not offended.
Yeah,
I want you to get the help that you need. So, like, it's actually my job to find somebody else in the, in the establishment that works for you.
True.
Right? So, but again, if you're open-minded, you do the work, it will always be a positive experience.
It's all about, just putting the work in and making sure that you stick to it. And don't give up. Once you start, don't give up.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I have one more question for you.
No, I don't want to end. This was so good.
The question that I have is, what advice would you give someone who wants to say... Wait, before I even ask that, let's go back to... It just clicked in my head, too. What if someone has seen a therapist, right? And that, as you said, going around shopping for therapists, and that therapist is not a good fit for them, or they're giving them bad advice. How do you recommend them leaving that therapist, or go about finding a new one?
Well, I would already say that therapist is doing something wrong, because you're not supposed to even be giving your clients advice per se. Like, therapy is like a you really want your clients to do the work. So it's hard. Sometimes you want to give advice, but if you're looking for advice, go talk to a friend. Like, I'm not here to give you an advice.
Right,
like,
I'm here to
really apply theories and like really work out the actual issues. But again, there's gray area there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if there is someone that you're seeing that is not working out for you, be honest. Be honest. Be upfront. Don't waste your time. Don't waste their time. That's what I would just, number one, say. Like, let them know, like, this is not working. And again, it's no shade or offense or disrespect to the counselor. We all do things differently. We all do things differently. So I just think being honest, saying it, once it's felt, don't lead a counselor on. Like, if you feel it from the very beginning, you say something.
Right.
And just the reality of it is, this is about you.
Right.
Like, this is about your life.
Yeah.
It's not about the counselor's life. It is about your life. And so if something is not serving you, including that counselor, that therapist, you need to speak up.
True.
You need to say something. And I'm sure your therapist will not be offended. I mean...
Right.
Like I said, I'm in school for this thing. Like, we're not supposed to be offended by that.
Right.
It's
like a new person.
It's not...
Yeah.
It's...
Water under the bridge. All right. So my next question for you is, what advice would you give someone who wants to seek therapy but is afraid of being judged by others?
That's a good question. Great question. So someone that wants to seek therapy, I would say a few things. The first thing I would say is surround yourself with people that can support your decision to go to therapy. Surround yourself with people that won't judge you,
right, or talk you down and say,
or
don't
talk
do
you
it.
out of it, or so find those people. Also talk to people that have gone through therapy.
True.
And have an open mind. Again, talking to people, you can get many different responses. Somebody can say, don't do it, but I think it's helpful to talk to people,
Yeah.
people that you trust, people that have gone through it, people that you kind of see the success story.
Right.
You know, you wanna be able to hear from them. I would also say, you know, the whole judgment thing, it's tricky because being afraid of judgment is something that you're gonna have to work out internally. Like, I can tell you from morning till night, you will not be judged, Shakeem. You will not be judged. Please take my word for it. Trust me. But ultimately, you have to say, all right, like,
yeah, you have to believe it.
You have to believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Others can't tell you, and you still like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Right. You have to believe it. So I would just say, again, it's feelings that are very much valid. You know, I'm afraid to say some things to my siblings because I don't want to be judged. I'm afraid to say some things to my girlfriends because I don't. Sometimes I'm afraid to say some things to even, you know, the youth ministry that I lead, because I'm like, oh, these kids gonna judge me, like, oh, you was doing that in college or you was doing that in high school, you know. So that judgment thing is very much valid. Like, again, it's something that comes with it. Yeah. But you have to be able to kind of work through that internally.
True.
So that's what I would say. I would also say, what else? Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just having people to support you, support your decision. You know, pray about the timing. Pray. I mean, I'm all about praying for everything. That's important. Pray about who you should even talk to. So, again, that's what I would say when it comes to seeking therapy. And how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Like, you really got to ask yourself, like, how bad do you want this change? How bad do you want to heal from the trauma? How bad do you want to, you know, fix your marriage? How bad do you want your child to overcome low self-esteem? How bad? Because I think that will be the driving force of you seeking therapy.
I like that. Well said. I like this. Oh, this was fun. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today, Keps.
Oh, you're welcome. This was amazing.
So nice. I enjoyed you.
This was amazing.
So tell people where they can find you at, where they should find
you. All right, well. You can find me in many different places. Well, first off, like I said, I am in school to become a therapist. So in May, I will officially have my licensed associate counseling credentials. Woo! So that's exciting. I'll be able to, you know, see clients as much as I want and all that good stuff. So, well, in May, I'll probably let people know how they can book me.
Oh, that's right. Go book her.
Yes, exactly. I'm also in the process of becoming a life coach.
Yes.
Which life coach...
I can see that for you, though. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Life coach and therapy are two different things. Very much two different things. But, yeah, I mean, I think I can definitely do both. Life coach, honestly, I feel like I've been doing it, but now I'm really
actually doing it.
Creating, like, you know, a brand around it, a profession around it, excuse me. Also, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at kepsiibae. I have two Instagram accounts. One is personal. One is for keptalk, which I know Shakeem kind of mentioned in the beginning. That is my baby. It is a talk show that I do on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube, type in keptalk, KEPTALK, you will find me. If you type that into Instagram, you will also find me. What else?
If you really want to just go on Instagram, go through Unspoketopics, look through followers, and you find it right there.
Exactly. Yes. So please follow us. Honestly, follow my guy here. He's doing great things. I love the vision. I love the vision.
Well, thanks.
It's a beautiful vision. Like I said before, I am looking forward to seeing just the journey. So, but yeah, that's where you can find me. I do plan on having a lot of different things this year, different events, just a bunch of different stuff. So, yeah, that's it, really.
Well, thanks, Kev. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me today. Please tune in next week while we unravel another Unspoken Topics. And I'm your host, Shakeem, and we have my co-host, Keps. And see you next time.
See you next time.